welcome to the Inside Post and our special Kentucky Derby episode for the 151st Kentucky Derby, Churchill Downs, Saturday, May 3rd. Looking for a probably 7 o'clock post time for this. Race 12 on the card. So we're going to go through this card and give you our long shot picks for the Kentucky Derby. Looking at 4 or 5 horses that we think could make some noise in here at a big price. And possibilities of making you rich if they can cross the wire first. So we know the Kentucky Derby is going to be full of those price horses and long shot contenders. So it's all about narrowing it down to what number you like, what name is best, what color you're going to pick. But we're going to look at some of the forms and horses that are kind of coming into this race with a little bit of tacticalness, danger, speed, possibility of a closer. Whatever you like, we're going to look at it and kind of narrow it down to maybe 4 or 5 horses that you should be betting on for long shots for the Kentucky Derby. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. Number 13, Publisher, probably going to be one of the horses that aren't going to be considered a long shot. I feel like this horse is going to get bet pretty heavily just because he's kind of a buzz horse right now, getting a lot of attention just because how well he's been running. As you can see, we have second in that Arkansas Derby, and then the Southwest and the Rebel, he kind of fell apart. And I don't know what really went wrong. I know in the Rebel, he kind of broke backwards, not really got out to a good spot. Southwest, you can kind of look at that as the gate, and he bobbled a little bit too. His best race definitely was the Arkansas Derby, and he's been a horse that's not won his maiden, so he's still the baby, still has yet to win any race, so he's yet to break his maiden. But what a way to break it at the Kentucky Derby, and right now we're getting odds of 30-1 on this young horse that's kind of been developing in his last 2 starts for sure, and it seems to be progressing and definitely getting a lot better. So as we look at his past performances, like I said, here's that 2nd and 4th place finish. As of now, he's getting a closer type style in his race pace projections. So we're going to get a closing speed of 105 in here, and I think he's going to have the speed to close into. If you've looked at any of the pace projections, he and several others are going to be coming from the clouds. I mean, we got top connections in Steve Asmussen with Irad Ortiz, and it's beautifully as a son of American Pharoah. And we all know what he was able to do. And out of Indian Charlie, same pedigree, obviously, rightfully so, to be standing proud of that pedigree, to give the connections and good old Grandpa and Dad American Pharoah another Kentucky Derby win. So getting blinkers on this horse, like I said, has yet to win a race, but the Arkansas Derby, a lot of people said that this was a really good race for Publisher, kind of setting himself up to be a pretty good contender in this type of race. So we're using DRF for our past performances. We're just going to give you kind of a quick look here at what he was able to do. So he's obviously number 3. As you could tell, he kind of missed the break in here again. But I think in his spot right now, if he's able to use that same closing speed, he's going to be a dangerous horse. I mean, here he's definitely way off the lead, but he's kind of seeing what's happening in front of him, seeing a lot of traffic. As we could see, what happened in here was obviously a big speed duel between Cornucopian and Speed King that just kind of blazed it out on the front end. And Sandman is kind of sitting ahead of our long shot Publisher. So again, he's able to kind of figure out where he wants to be on the track. He's done it before and been able to close. That's what we were able to get to in this Arkansas Derby. Whoops, as I skipped ahead. As you can see, he's about 5th as he comes out of the turn and is able to pass Speed King, easily passes Cornucopian, and then tries to set himself up to try to run at Sandman, but nobody was beating Sandman that day. He definitely looks a horse that could go a little bit extra distance in here. I just think the bad start, Sandman's all over the track, causing some problems. And then Publisher kind of runs on. So, again, another horse that's definitely going to be, like I said, one to take into consideration. This horse definitely is probably not going to be 20-1, 30-1 on his line, he's going to get bet pretty hard, just with the connections alone and what we've seen him do in his past races. So there's our first one. Publisher right now, number 13 on the cloth, 30-1 Publisher. Next up, we got Chunk of Gold. This one's not getting a whole lot of attention, rightfully so. I don't know what to make of this horse. A lot of second places. So does he have that second-itis? Is he going to be one that's going to run in an exacta trifecta? Possibly could be. At 30-1, this horse is not going to get touched. I feel like we could see 50s, 60s possibility on this horse. I don't think it's going to get a lot of attention. It comes out of a second place in the Louisiana Derby behind Tiztastic, who's also a pretty good long shot in here. And then second in that Risen Star behind a really good Magnitude, who unfortunately is going to miss the Kentucky Derby, but what a horse in Magnitude that was. So Chunk of Gold comes in, like I said, already 30-1, probably not going to take a whole lot of play. Another one that's going to be sitting in the mid-pack, so kind of like that mid-pack feature that we're getting here. And again, has some good 101 late kick, just like Publisher. So he's done it before. Track to the inside, coming out of the Louisiana Derby. Was huge closer in there, finishing second, just not being able to catch Tiztastic that day. Same thing, off the pace in the Risen Star, was able to finish second. So the horses ran into his share of trouble. And here, obviously coming out of the 19 hole, he's going to have a lot, but I think he's going to be able to set up pretty nicely of where he wants to be. And for sure, I think this one's a very sneaky horse. Could possibly go early, has some type of early speed to set close to the pace if needed. But definitely one to kind of watch out for as, I don't know, kind of like a big question mark horse. He's not getting a lot of attention. It's one of the many gray horses that are in here. Ethan West has his first Kentucky Derby horse, or a really good Derby horse for himself in here. So not getting a lot of attention is kind of what catches our eye. We'll see what he's able to do. He's looked great on the track in the workouts and such, so we'll see. But one of our own Turfway shippers, as we kind of talk about on the channel. So this one comes from Turfway Park out of the Leonidas. So we'll see if he's able to run big for Derby Day at a probably one of the bigger prices for our long shot place. Next, we go back to the inside at number 3, Final Gambit. This was Brad Cox, the Machado. We'll get the mount on here. Another 30-1 horse who's probably going to take a little bit of play, but I feel like he's going to stay around the 20s and 30s. Not a whole lot of people usually give a ton of respect to the Jeff Ruby, even though it's kind of been pretty dominant, running 1, 2, or 3 here recently. So we'll see what Final Gambit is able to do. Did break its maiden on the synthetic, and again, winning the Jeff Ruby on synthetic. So it's going to make its first dirt start. So we'll see if that kind of plays into any factor coming into, the Kentucky Derby. This one is going to come from the clouds. He is going to be a big closer like he did in that Jeff Ruby Stakes. A big late speed of 110. Really no need to go early speed set at a 63. So Machado is just going to kind of sit comfortably on this and let things unfold in front of him and see what he's able to chase into. I mean, he's going to have a fast pace. Definitely one to consider for your exactas, trifectas, type wagering. Maybe you play win, place, or show. This one would be a good one to use it on. The workouts look great. He looks phenomenal on the track. He's getting a lot of buzz right now for his workouts. So we'll see what he's able to do. Again, first try on the dirt. Out of Not This Time. Another gray horse. So it seems like all of our long shots have been gray. Bred and owned by Judemont. So all the connections are there in the right pieces. Again, we get Brad Cox, Luan Machado, and we have a horse that's probably going to be about 30 to 1 or so. So another one that looks pretty good. Again, a lot of people kind of talking about this one too. So we'll see what his odds kind of end up compost time. All right, 2 to go. 16 in Coal Battle. If you would have told me when the morning line came out that Coal Battle would be 30 to 1, no way. I mean, the horse put off 4 wins in a row from his stakes at Delaware, goes to, I believe it was Remington, picks up another stakes win, Oaklawn Park, and then a small stakes race there. It goes to the Rebel and the Arkansas Derby, and just really hasn't done anything wrong, except when he was on turf. His Arkansas Derby, again, he ran into Publisher and Sandman, who obviously Sandman, nobody's beating that horse that day. But if you go back to that horse's Rebel Stakes, he looked phenomenal beating out Matticat Road and Sandman in there. And he beat Mo Quality by a neck in the Oaklawn Stakes for 3-year-olds. I mean, the horse is really good. Early speed type horse, going to be a tracker that sits right off the pace. Definitely could be very dangerous. And we got the feel-good story with Lonnie Briley. You know, a trainer with his first Kentucky Derby horse just trying it one more time. Juan Vargas going to be in the mounts here, but a horse that's just been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I know, you know, the competition hit or miss what the horse has been running against, but he's beat out Sandman one time previously. The Mo Quality horse and Speed King were really good horses, and again, he ran into Sandman and Publisher on their best days. In that Rebel, I mean, he looked, like I said, pretty good. Coming into a little bit bigger of a class race. So here he's going to be one. He's going to be on the inside. He's going to beat out the Matticat Road horse for Bob Baffert. He's going to beat out Publisher, Tistastic, and Sandman here as he comes out of the gate pretty well in a pretty big field of 14 horses. He's kind of set up nice on the rail. He doesn't really have to do much. He sits comfortably in here. And he's going to sit right off of this lead pack of 4 horses as he's kind of just chilling comfortably. Still, they're probably 7-6 lengths from him. He's still, you know, no urgency, no need to go soon. Let the speedsters go out and see what you can kind of run into late. Starts to make his move kind of late in the backstretch, as you see. I believe that's the 7, possibly on his outside, and maybe the 13 kind of to his inside. But he's stuck out wide here on the outside. Still has really yet to get the horse going. As you can see, Sandman's kind of running up beside him. I think Sandman kind of just ran into some trouble that day. But here he goes, obviously kicked past the 9, coming past the 5, and just, boom, breaks away right here. And comes into a, I don't know, stretch battle with Matticat Road. And I thought the horse fought really well in here, battling out a really good horse that needs the lead and usually wins on the lead. So for Cole Battle to kind of bury one of the Bob Baffert horses on the lead, that was pretty good that day. But as you could see, the 3 and the 6 and Sandman and Publisher were all flying late and just couldn't get there or didn't push their buttons in the right time. So again, in that type of race, Cole Battle knew when to push his button and was able to get a head start on the closing speeds of Sandman and Publisher for that day. So 30-1, this one, I mean, track record alone says a play here just to be smart for exacta, trifectas, maybe even a superfecta. All right, our last one for the day is number 10, Grande. This horse has kind of been sneaking up our list. We've kind of been watching, seeing what he's been able to do here recently. We got Todd Pletcher, John Velasquez, Mike Rapoli of Rapoli Stables. I mean, the horse is going to take money, but is he going to take that much money? We're at 20-1 right now. I think the horse is going to stay there, maybe even floats up a little bit. If this horse is in the teens, I'll be shocked. The very, very sneaky horse, not getting a whole lot of attention either. Unless Mike Rapoli comes out with a tweet and kind of flaunts this horse, then you can see the boom, and this horse may take a ton of money and be down in like the 12s. So comes out of that Wood Memorial, finished second behind really good Rodriguez that day that kind of came over here and kind of dusted the East Coast triage, I guess you could say, of Grande and a couple others. There really wasn't a whole lot in there, but the horse has been getting better. Breaks his maiden going a mile and then steps into a 1 1/8 in an allowance and was able to win there. Definitely one that's going to be a speed horse. Definitely going to have to go early. Maybe he does go early. It's just a little bit closer to the lead than what we've seen in the Wood. I think that was probably what happened. He was bumped at the start. If he's not bumped at the start, Grande could be the Wood Memorial winner. We could kind of be talking about him as maybe 3rd, 4th betting option. So we'll look at this Wood Memorial, see where he's really bumped at. As you can tell, we got the 7 horse in here. Going to be about right in here to see where he gets bumped at as he comes out of this gate. I mean, I really don't see a whole lot as of now. I mean, he does have a lot of speed to his inside. He's stuck really far out in the path, and then he kind of floats up a little bit going into the turn. And you can tell Rad's kind of getting into him just a little bit as he seems to be running pretty hard going into this first turn. And then he kind of settles him down, controls him a little bit. So this was kind of a pretty good, I guess, finishing, right? He's stuck all the way outside. He's going to be in a 10 hole. I mean, he's going to have speed to his inside yet again, but I think he's going to sit off of it. Here he kind of makes a move pretty early into the turn with a big long shot, and then kind of Captain Cook and Rodriguez, who's just the rail horse here with the lead. Again, he's still pretty far out in the 4 or 5 path for Grande of trying to make some sort of run in here. There he is again, 3 horses left to catch. And he's pretty much urging him pretty hard right now in the irons. And he kind of bumps out a little bit right here, but again, he's got to chase the lead down on the front end and Rodriguez, and he does a pretty good job closing into him. I believe it was maybe a length or two that he ended up getting beat by. He's a little bit green. He's all over the track a little bit here. I mean, Rodriguez didn't have to do much, just stick to the rail, and he had no real challengers. But I think it could be a dangerous horse. He doesn't look like he's asking much. I don't even know if I really got out and whipped him too much. But this horse, I think, is going to be a huge play for a long shot play that we're getting at 20-1 right now. If this horse goes anywhere up, you have to use him in your exactas. You have to use him in trifectas. I just think it's worth a shot because he's getting better. He went to his first stakes race, obviously grade 2, and finished second behind really good Rodriguez. I think this kind of race maybe sets up for him a little bit better than the Wood, and I think he could run really, really big coming into this race. I mean, the connections alone, yes, we see Pletcher, we see Velasquez be very sneaky in these types of races. Mike Rapoli's going to put some money. He's going to talk about this horse a lot. So we'll see what he can do. The workouts look pretty good. Nothing really wowing, but again, a horse that's in good form coming into this type of race. So there is our picks for our Kentucky Derby long shots. So we'll see if anything changes. We're still about a couple days out. So make sure to like and subscribe. Go comment down below your long shot pick. It better be a long shot. Don't give me no journalism or sovereignty or Sandman stuff. I want a long shot. Give me the big price that you're liking. Put it down in the comments. Give our video a like. Turn on your notifications. The Kentucky Derby time is warming up, folks. It's here. Let's get to it. Good luck.